Ladies and gentlemen, guys and gals, non-binary pals, and the technicolor rainbow in between, this is Modular Media Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, Chris, a Boingo Rider Gaston, and with me, as always, is my tag team partner.
The man who has the machine most sorely in need of an upgrade out of anyone in modular media, the Vacuuminator.
Yeah, yeah. It used to be me, now it's you. How the turntables.
I shouldn't reference that on the show.
I don't know what you're about to reference, sir.
uh, I'll tell you about it after the recording if I remember, or the
Alright.
broadcast, or whatever this is. What is this? What's going on? What's happening?
We're doing an episode on Modular Media Wrestling Podcast, a podcast where we talk about wrestling in the week that we want to talk about.
Oh, okay. All right.
Some
What wrestling did you want to talk about?
AEW, the same stuff we always talk about.
Oh, okay. I assume you'll make me ramble about vlogs for 10 minutes and there will be some light to moderate WWE bitching in there somewhere.
Well, I mean, at this point in time, you're the one who puts the vlogs on the list. If you didn't want to talk about the vlogs, you wouldn't put them on the list.
See, I keep putting them on because I keep hoping that you'll watch them too and we can have an actual discussion about them.
So, Rampage.
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 Who's reading the card?
Um, I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll
Okay.
read Rampage. So let me get to it in just a second because I need to get out of this slideshow. AEW Rampage, January 14th, 2022, from the PNC Arena of Raleigh, North Carolina. Adam Cole, baby, with all new, all different Elite versus Trent Beretta with the best friends of Chaos. Cole pins after a low blow and the boom. Thunder Rosa and Mercedes Martinez video package. The chairman, Sean Spears, with Wardlow versus Andrew Everett. Spears pins after a C4. After the match, Spears cut a promo on CM Punk. The Acclaimed, Sting, and Darby diss track. Legit Layla Hirsch, Chris Statlander, and Red Velvet versus Native Beast, Nyla Rose, Penelope Ford, and The Bunny. The Bunny pins Hirsch with a roll up. Ethan Page backstage promo. Ricky Starks with Jay Lethal on a backstage promo. Uh, John Silver and Alex Reynolds with Dark Order versus Jurassic Express with Christian Cage for the AEW Tag Team Champions. Luchasaurus pins Alex Reynolds after a combination pin finish. I'll be honest, I don't remember a super ton.
Yeah, this wasn't a really memorable Dynamite or Rampage, excuse me. There was good stuff on it,
Yeah.
but a lot of it was very much just slight build towards the next Wednesday, and not great. I'm gonna be honest. I am really not into this Layla Hirsch Chris Statlander Red Velvet feud that's been building and comes to a head on Dynamite this week.
I think the head's fine. What happened on Dynamite's okay. We'll get to that.
hmm Uh, I weirdly really enjoyed the Sting and Darby diss track that the Acclaim did, if only for the fact that we got Stang on national television.
Dang. I mean, the acclaim's always great.
Mhm. Uh, Opening and closing matches were both solid, but not particularly memorable, I don't think. I think the best thing about the show overall was just the promo John Silver did right before the main event.
Mm, yeah. It's very trying to get to one place to the other. It is very transitional. It's just trying to get to Bash of the Beach Bash.
Bash of the Beaches.
Yeah, it's just trying to get to that point, and it just needed something to fill in the time.
hmm it's a solid show, but it's not appointment viewing, I think.
Yeah. So since we don't have a super ton to talk about, do you just want to dive into the vloggles next?
Uh, yeah, being the elite was pretty interesting this week, if only for the fact that the Bucks went through the same airport where Matt's Dior's got stolen, and Nick's luggage just fucking disappeared. He was
Oof.
the only one of the elite on the flight that checked a bag, and not only did his bag not end up at their airport, but it just straight up wasn't in the system when he gave them the tag number. Um, and he said like there's nothing super expensive in there. But like it's still crazy that it's the same airport and they just straight up lost his bag. Um, it kind of makes me wonder if maybe they're bullshitting and this is a storyline, but also like it's so far between the two that I don't think it is.
Yeah.
Um, uh, there was also a really good, I guess the Christopher Daniels head of talent relations Spooky Man thing is just going to be a reoccurring segment because there's a segment with him and Adam Cole where he's like, Adam Cole, I've been meaning to talk to you about something very important. And Adam Cole's like, oh, good. Oh, hey, CD, good to see you. Wow, what happened to your eye? He's like, don't worry about that. Just make sure you filled out all your paperwork properly. And if you need any help with anything, here's my card. Okay, why are you giving me your card? Haven't you heard? I'm the head of talent relations. Just goofy bullshit.
Hmm.
Um, and I think that's pretty much it for BT. Oh, there's another segment of JD Drake trying to buy off Leva Bates, but it doesn't work.
Hmm.
Uh, And then Sammy's vlog was nothing like super important or cool, but just some general good time backstage vibes. It felt more like an Ethan vlog this week, to be honest. There was a fun bit where Sammy and Griff Garrison had a match to decide the undisputed vlog champion, and Sammy ended up winning. So immediately Fuego goes, "So I guess Griff's really never going to be on the vlog again, huh?" And Griff just goes, "Yeah, see ya," and walks out.
Yeah.
Uh, Anything else? I'm just checking for it real good. Oh, there was a number one contenders arm wrestling match, which your boy Alan Angels won,
Nice,
so he'll
nice.
be getting a match. However, there will be no Sammy vlog next week because Sammy and Tay are going to Brazil together.
Hmm.
Like they were at the cue card promo he did on Dynamite this week that was shot in Brazil.
Oh.
So if there was any doubt, they up and decided, fuck it, we're gonna be a couple.
I mean, fair enough.
Yeah. I mean, no judgment. Sammy seems like a nice guy, and Tay seems like a nice girl, and I'm the fucking pig of modular media. I'll say it. She's gorgeous. So if they're happy together, great. Just
Yeah.
weird that it came out of what it came out of.
Yeah, true. But Sammy does have a very big whiff and odor of hype YouTube vlog bro.
hmm I actually saw somebody this week say like they can't buy him as a babyface purely because of his vlogger bro haircut.
Yeah. Like if wrestling was a more popular thing, he'd be hanging out with Jake Paul.
Yeah.
Totally unaware of the irony of anything. Of just like, no,
hmm
no, I'm just hanging out with Jake Paul. He's cool. Whatever.
I mean, wasn't Logan Paul on a WWE thing recently?
Yeah. Logan, Jake, whatever. Just one of them.
One of those Pauls.
Except Paul White. He's cool.
hmm
He doesn't deal with BS.
or Optibotimus. He's just a loser. He's a piece of shit. Fuck him.
Is that work or a shoot?
You decide.
I don't want to. Because I don't know jack and shit.
That's fine. We don't need to get into fucking toy reviewer community drama from 6 years ago right
Damn.
now.
But, you know what some drama we are going to get into? Gory self-mutilation.
Yeah, it's been quite the week for the good old WWE. It feels like actually no, it doesn't feel like it's just a fact. Whenever we talk about WWE on this show, it's fucking oh, they did something stupid. Let's talk about why this is stupid because there's a number of things that happened this week, but obviously because of your slide, we're gonna talk about the quote for. Let's go in chronological order as I
Yeah.
have it written here.
Hmm.
So, do you have the quote in front of you? Because I don't.
No, but I can get it real quick if you just give me a second.
Hmm.
Give me un momento. Uh, let's see. Let's see. Does this have the quote? Will I find the quote on this website? I don't know.
Wait a minute. Didn't I put it in this exact chat a few nights ago?
You probably did.
Let's see here. I'm gonna scroll. Who will find it first?
Who knows?
Oh, doesn't look like I did. Maybe I have it on my phone.
We'll figure it out. We'll get there eventually.
Live, everybody.
No. Don't worry. You don't gotta fucking justify jack and shit. I got the
Oh,
quote.
okay.
If you look at the gory self mutilation that bloodied several women in the December 31st event on TNT, it quickly becomes clear that these are very different businesses. We had an edgier product in the Attitude Era, and in the 2022 world, we don't believe that type of dangerous and brutal display is appealing to network partners, sponsors, venues, children, or the general public as a whole.
Which is just hilarious because everybody knows blading is so dangerous and horrible and awful, especially when you compare it to something like a massive MMA man punching somebody in the head until they bleed.
Mm-hmm. Or taking an eye out. And as a result, several of the women in the match responded to WWE in kind.
Hmm. Uh, I think Andrew Zarian put it best on it was either Mat Men or We're Live Pal, one of the Wrestling Observer shows he does. He said basically like this is just WWE trying to stir shit up and say to advertisers, look, we're the family friendly product. If you don't want to potentially get sued for being associated with this gory violent stuff, come over here.
Yeah, it's just here's the thing. It's understandable for them to go like, we want to separate our brand from the general atmosphere of the product as from the content as a whole. We
The
want to
quote
be.
also comes from I forget who exactly it is, but it's an executive that's like not really involved in creative either. They're more of a marketing person, and they were being asked by a journalist who doesn't even usually cover wrestling.
Hmm.
So like the whole thing is not sus, but like it's
It feels like
clearly
it's set up to be a home run for them.
uh-huh.
But it's a home run for the general public. Like you can understand like Timmy Tam's fucking grandma going like, you know what? I much rather him watch WWE than anything bloody and gory.
That's true. But there's one universal constant in every generation of children. You tell them they can't watch something, they're gonna want to watch it more.
Yeah. Um. And this kind of thing has happened before because the Nick Gage pizza cutter incident,
Mm-hmm.
where Nick Gage was using a pizza cutter in a hardcore match on network TV, and then a Domino's commercial happened, or was it Papa John's?
Yeah. It is one of them, but I think you're right to bring that up because like this is WWE following up on that in a way, saying like, hey, if you don't want that to happen again, maybe don't advertise on that channel. Advertise on the channel we're on.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But like to an extent, they also are shooting themselves in the foot because they're saying we are family friendly, meaning that our demographic is going to be outside of the primary demographic most marketers like to target. 18 to 39,
Mm.
because it's kids and their parents.
But then they also have the aforementioned bloody gory things. They regularly use swear words. Granted, not the worst swear words out there, but they use swear words for dramatic effect. And certain female wrestlers, they tend to have take part in angles that are, shall we say, suggestive.
True. It's this great big pot of hypocrisy on WWE's part of basically what it comes off as is less we're the safer product that you can trust and more we don't let our women not be pretty on our channel.
Hmm.
You know.
I can't believe I actually am longing for the days when Stephanie McMahon single-handedly invented women's wrestling.
Mm. But no, these four women did a fucking bang ass job. And then WWE tried to go like, "Hey, they no, don't pay attention to that." And then everybody went like, "Oh, I'm gonna go watch that match now."
Yeah. Uh, um. So the next thing on our wow, what a fucking week for those guys. Rampage we got here. MLW is an independent promotion that was acquired by WWE a few years ago, and they were promised to be slowly absorbed into the WWE system, and that they were going to get an actual show for their promotion out of the purchase deal. And that shit hasn't happened, so they filed an antitrust lawsuit.
Mm.
Like actual serious legal trouble WWE is in for, I think, the first time since the steroid scandal.
Hopefully,
Mhm.
we say that like, yeah, no, it's just WWE has been very, very anti
Mhm.
competition in terms of wrestling business.
Yeah. And I mean, like, I'm saying all this. I don't have all the facts on all these things, and Boingo literally doesn't know a whole lot. I'm just fucking telling him shit, and
Yeah.
he's reacting to it. Like the fact that, oh God, I don't even remember her name because I read this story and forgot about it so quickly earlier in the week. But there's a new female wrestler on NXT. She's a young Asian woman who just hangs out in her pajamas and drinks smoothies.
Mm.
It's it's literally WWE's take on Orange Cassidy. Like she's only done a couple offensive things, and like they're not specifically Orange Cassidy spots, but they look like things Orange Cassidy would do. And everybody is saying this gimmick is a ripoff of Orange Cassidy.
Doof.
I'm sure she's a nice lady and a talented performer, but good criminy crapsacks.
Yeah, and you did, and if you that's what it is. That's the laziest way of doing it. Oh, this guy is lazy. That's a very surface read of the character because he's not lazy. He's too cool for school.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't want to put in the effort. It's not that he can't get out of bed. It's the fact that he would rather smoke weed all day.
Yeah,
Smoke weed and watch Fast and the Furious.
that should be a shirt. Anyway, then Raw happened to fall on Martin Luther King Day this week,
Mm.
and they aired their usual, "Oh, isn't it great that Martin Luther King was a person and he did all those things that he did and
Even though Vince
racism is
McMahon,
over now?"
even though Vince McMahon would have been one of the people cheering when he got assassinated.
Mm-hmm. But racism is totally over now, guys. That's
And yet
why.
everybody bitches and moans when Cody Rhodes fucking makes that promo.
Mm-hmm.
Fickle, fickle, fickle.
Yeah, fucking and god damn the like it's just the hypocrisy of like it's the consummate like it's weird for me to say this because I'm a white dude, but it's the consummate white dude saying like, "Oh, Martin Luther King ended racism. Isn't he great?" When that white person has done all kinds of racist shit in the past, like fucking easiest one to go to. Vince said the N word on a pay per view. The Mexicools exist. Kamala exists. Yokozuna exists.
Oh, that's not even like that's not like, and then there's even recent stuff.
Oh yeah, what I forget what the guy's name is, but isn't there a African American wrestler they made take on like a militant tribesman gimmick recently? Like in
Yeah,
the last
Apollo
year or
Crews,
so? Yeah, it was Apollo Crews. I don't know if he still has that or not.
because they were trying to do Wakanda,
Yeah.
not realizing that to do Wakanda you just do Afrofuturism. That's it. Just fucking Afrofuturism. That's all you need to do.
And they brought in a new big man to be his muscle and they named him Commander Aziz.
Mm. Mm-mm-mm.
But Big E was WWE champion for like a month a little while ago, so everything's totally fine.
Yeah. And
And
people
then,
and people also forget Martin Luther King Jr. He wasn't like he was a fucking radical dude.
yeah.
He wasn't just going like, no, we're just gonna have a peaceful protest. Like, yeah, peaceful protest was his main operandi, but it was like, yo, fucking, we're gonna get this shit.
hmm
If I remember, his quote is, "Riots are the voice. Riots are the voice of the voiceless." Something like that.
Um, and then finally, 2 nights ago, NXT ended with Walter taking on Roderick Strong, two boys who I'm very much a fan of. And Walter eventually won with one of his finishers. I don't know what. I didn't watch the full match, but immediately
Good.
after the match, the announcer went to say, "And the winner of this match is," and Walter picks up a microphone and he says, "9. The winner of this match is Gunther." And he throws his microphone down, and then his flunky guys come in and start attacking Roddy, and then some friends of Roddy come in and start attacking them, and Walter gets involved in that, and big brawl to end the show. You get it. Um,
Yeah.
so people start doing research into this, wondering what the fuck that was about. Turns out, 3 days prior, WWE filed a trade, or I'm sorry, it was 5 days prior. WWE filed a trademark for the name Gunther Stark. When you pop that name into Google, before this happened, of course, because now it's all WWE shit. Before that, when you pop that into Google, and even now you go through a few pages, it'll come up. Gunther Stark was a Nazi U-boat commander in World War II.
I know they're called Imperium, but please, no.
Yeah, yeah. So, I know generally how it works is if they feel like somebody's name needs to change so it can be more easily copywritten, they tell somebody to come up with a list of names and then they pick one. But I feel like this might have been engineered a little bit. Like maybe Stark and Gunther were two different names and they realized that connection was there and they threw them together because doesn't Vince love his foreign heels?
Jesus. Fucking a Nazi gimmick in the year of our Lord.
Oh,
Like,
but it gets
not
better
even a neo
because
Nazi, like a Nazi gimmick.
it gets better because immediately following this, Walter himself took to Twitter to clarify, "I am not a Nazi."
Dear God. The fact that you have to have your performer clarify that should just indicate maybe you shouldn't name them that, or B, you fucking Google your ideas.
Yeah, yeah. Like, isn't that the number one thing you should do as a multi-million-dollar company, Google a name before you trademark it to make sure it's not something else first. You know, I feel like that's a basic thing you should understand, so much so to the point that when Boingo told me he wanted to rename the channel Modular Media 3 years ago, I checked and made sure there was nothing currently active called Modular Media. There's a couple old tech channels and a website, but none of it's currently active. We are the only currently active Modular Media, and those things didn't get a whole lot of traction, even compared to what we have right now.
Yeah. But like Jesus fucking Christ. I didn't know about the Nazi thing. I just knew Gunther Stark was like, God damn, really? Walter is such a powerful, simple, classy name.
Mhm.
It's also like if his German accent makes it sound more badass, Volta. You
And
know?
it gets even, it gets even better because the backlash to this was so universal and resounding. WWE abandoned the trademark today.
Oh my god, are they just immediately reverting to Walter?
I don't know if they're reverting to Walter, but they no longer hold a trademark on Gunther Stark.
Jesus fucking Christ. Okay.
Like that is some fabulous Moolah Memorial Battle Royal shit right there. Holy
No,
God.
not even that, because that took like a fucking week to fucking not do anymore.
Mhm.
People have been pointing it out, and it's not like this weird like, oh, you got to read between the lines. No, uh, Vince believes that they are so much on the top that they need to start appealing to like it's early '90s WWE going against WCW right now.
Oh yeah, we're in another new generation era at the moment, especially with their whole new program they have that's taking athletes right out of college who don't give a shit about wrestling and making them wrestlers.
Mm-hmm.
Also, hi Gaspado. Mankind is pretty great. I agree. It's a good character. I like
Yeah,
Mick Foley.
Mick Foley's great, but Jesus Christ, Gunther Stark. Ugh.
Like, either they knew exactly what they were doing and should fucking know better, or they were too stupid to Google the name. A multi-billion-dollar company was too stupid to Google something before they trademarked it.
But it totally makes sense why they're trying to give Walter a WWE name because they're trying to close in their product more. I
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be I wouldn't be surprised if Roddy Strong's gonna get a new name.
I mean, there have been rumors of Walter going up to the main roster for a few months now, but also like I don't know. I don't think it makes sense that he's getting a WWE name cuz like he was Walter in the Royal Rumble earlier this year. He's been Walter on WWE product for like 5 years now. Why all of a sudden now do we have to rename him?
Because they're trying to close their product. They realize, oh, there's other places that they want to be. We got to make sure everything is under our control while it's here, so they can't benefit from any of it when they go away, i.e., Adam Cole, Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly. I would not be surprised if they start locking down stuff more because those three men went to AEW and are basically doing an undisputed era angle without WWE outside of their control.
But I thought the fans were all smart marks and you can't keep any secrets from them anymore.
But no, they're not abandoning Gunther. Here's a tweet from 6 hours ago. Verified Gunther underscore AUT. I think this is Walter's old account. Yeah, it is Walter's account. Cause it's just like promo pics and retweets of WWE promo packages.
But they dropped the trademark. They only called him Gunther on TV. I'm willing to bet they think they can just keep calling him Gunther without Stark, and it'll be okay.
Ugh.
And the worst part is, the people that are still watching WWE week in and week out are so fucking stupid, it'll probably be okay. If you ever wonder why we don't watch WWE and talk about it week in and week out, it's because the only time there's anything interesting to talk about, it's something this fucking stupid.
Yeah, it's a fucking shame.
And we only bring this stuff up because the things we're talking about are things we would talk about anyway. Martin Luther King Day, things that affect the greater wrestling world, the MLW lawsuit, one of our boys, Walter, and it's actually relating to AEW in the Gory self-mutilation quote and the Orange Cassidy ripoff.
Dear Gun, like Walter just needs to leave WWE, go to New Japan, and just fucking tear
You
shit
don't need
down.
to come to AEW, Walter. Go to
No,
New Japan. Go to Impact. Go do some more stuff in Britain if there's any Britain independent promotions left. I don't know shit
thanks
about that.
WWE. Dear God, like WWE gutted the British independent scene, and then the pandemic happened. So like, fuck.
It's like they bought up all the independent wrestlers and then the pandemic happened.
And then they got released, and then Tony Khan was like, "Hey, you want to come on Dark for a little bit?"
I hate it here. Let's talk about reasons to be happy, huh?
Yeah, let me get the slide up real quick.
All right.
So you want to read the card?
Will do. AEW Dynamite 1/19/2022 from the Entertainment and Sports Arena in Washington, D.C. opened up with John Moxley returning for a in-ring promo.
Hell
There
yeah.
was then a backstage promo from MJF and Wardlow. Then Adam Cole, Bebe, and Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, took on freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy, excuse me, and Chris Statlander in a mixed tag match. It ended with Cole pinning Cassidy after the boom. Alex Marvez talked to the inner circle backstage and then went and talked to Adam Cole backstage. The chairman, Sean Spears, took on CM Punk, and Punk pinned him after a go to sleep right after the bell rang. After the match, MJF attempted to attack Punk but was scared off. Billy Gunn talked to Christian Cage backstage. The American Nightmare Cody Rhodes returned for an in-ring promo. Tony Schiavone talked to Jade Cargill and Anna Jay backstage. The Kings of the Black Throne debuted to take on the Varsity Blondes, and Brody King pinned Pillman after a new combination move they have called the Chasing Inferno. After the
Dante's
match,
Inferno.
oh, okay. Excuse me. After the match, Hawk confronted the House of Black. Lance Archer had a video package. Roppongi Vice did a backstage promo on the Young Bucks. Frankie Kazarian took on the Murder Hawk monster Lance Archer with Jake the Snake Roberts and Dan Lambert. And Archer won that match by pinning after a blackout. After the match, Tony Schiavone talked to the winning team in the ring. Alex Marvez talked to Dante Martin and the boys backstage. Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs had a backstage promo. Tony Schiavone talked to Red Velvet and Chris Statlander backstage. Sky Blue and the Sky Blue took on the Professor of Professional Wrestling, Serena Deeb, and tapped out to the Serenity Lock, excuse me. Hook had a video package. The Men of the Year had a backstage promo. Sammy Guevara did a cue card promo. Tony Schiavone talked to Matt Hardy and Andrade El Idolo backstage. And in your main event, the Acclaimed took on the Icon Sting and Darby Allin. And Allin won the match by pinning Bowens after a coffin drop.
Hell yeah. This episode of Dynamite really made up for the semi lackluster Rampage.
Near perfect episode, I would say. There's only like two segments I had a problem with.
Well, why don't we go in order John Moxley's promo coming back was beautiful and
Mhm.
gorgeous.
Yeah, just fucking like, and the beautiful spontaneity of wrestling. Like, I can't believe I'm saying this, but thank God that douchebag heckled him because, like, starting it off with Moxley telling somebody in the crowd to go fuck themselves for calling him a drunk was so perfect.
Oh yeah, no, and then immediately flowed into the promo, even though it doesn't flow like water. It flows like a goddamn river rapid. It doesn't go in a straight line. It's not smooth. It's crashing everywhere, but inevitably it's a fun ride.
Hmm. Which is exactly Mox's character.
Mm-hmm.
Even though the topic he's discussing is something very serious and very dark, but like you get this, it never feels like depressing. It feels like a harrowing tale of him going through an experience and coming out the other side stronger.
And wanting us to be stronger with him, basically going like, I've been through this shit, and I don't want people to go through this shit again. Fucking show your inner scars so we can be better people. And it's just like, that's a fucking baby face right there.
Mhm. Like that's almost something I could expect Hangman to say.
Yeah, I
Um,
am so down for the vulnerable era of professional wrestling.
mhm. And fucking like it wasn't just verbal storytelling, it was also visual, just because somebody posted a comparison up on Twitter. Mox looks 10 years younger after 3 months of rehab.
After 3 months of rehab, not being on the road, eating healthy, all that kind of stuff. Like part of me goes like he's probably gonna put some more weight on that, and he's back, and it's gonna be in catering, just because
Mhm.
he's not working out every day,
Yeah.
which isn't a bad thing. People put on weight.
But still, like he looked like he was balding when he left, and now he's got a full head of hair again.
Mm-hmm. It helped. He's better. He looks good. He feels happier. It seems.
It's gives you a reason to keep going, man.
Mm-hmm. And then we had the MJF Wardlow promo. The only thing I want to mention about this is the look on Wardlow's face the entire time was, I am so gonna
Such,
Batista bomb you when I win that belt. I am so gonna
such,
bomb you when I get that belt. You have no
such
idea.
good facial acting. My God, Wardlow and MJF's their arc has just been one of the most consistently entertaining things in AEW the last couple months, and like this promo was no exception. From like the what the fuck of MJF apologizing to the perfect bastardness, but also the not obviously, but shit-eating grin that Wardlow had when he got his pay docked. Mm.
It's just it is just the, I am so gonna betray you. You have no fucking idea. I'll just say yes, sir. Get my money until I win. Because if I win the belt, Tony's just gonna give me a contract.
Hmm.
You know, all that kind of jazz. Um,
Shit.
Adam Cole, Britt Baker, Orange Cassidy, Statlander. It was a fun match. That's what it needed to be. It was just fun.
I thought it was great. It was a really good mixed tag match. A lot of fun spots in there. Really good character work. And honestly, this is probably the most into a match I think OC has seemed in a long time.
Well, you fuck with his friends, you fuck with him.
Like he was in rare form, pulling out all the hits and doing some new stuff.
Hmm.
Good match.
I really love the Orange Cassidy coffin drop to the outside.
Yeah.
Um, Now I'm just going like, can we just have intergender matches, please? Just can we just fucking rip the band-aid
I feel
off?
like we're there. We're so close.
I
Just
feel like we just need
another
like
few things like this.
couple more matches of this, so Tony Khan feels confident that they can get away with it. All right,
Hmm.
cool.
I mean, like the crowd was fully behind all those spots where like Statlander beat up on Cole and Cassidy doing his kicks to Baker.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Uh, the inner circle promo is interesting because Proud and Powerful basically go like, Everybody's been fucking saying that you've been holding us back because you drag us into all your bullshit. We're thinking they're kind of right.
Because you're
So,
making us fight one of our friends?
like, fucking either prove they're wrong or like we're gonna be bouncing.
Mhm. I feel like Inner Circle is breaking up. I feel like that's inevitably going to happen at Revolution because, like, this is the first major seat of it, and they did it in the same building where the Inner Circle formed.
I also think that we're going to get to a point where Jericho's gimmick changes because we've had Le Champion Demo God for a bit.
Yeah,
And that's the
3
same
years
gimmick.
now.
3 years. And it's getting a little old, and people are starting to say, it's a little old, I'm getting a little tired of Jericho. And Jericho fucking goes on the internet, he sees this shit, and he's going like, alright, cool, maybe I need to change things up a bit.
I was talking to a total casual the other day who said Jericho needs to retire.
That's the gimmick. He's an
Hmm.
aging rock star who doesn't know when to quit.
Yep. Uh, but I mean, there's that. There's the fact that, Santana and Ortiz said, they've been close a couple times, but they haven't won the tag belts. Sammy is basically being pushed as a single star now, and Jake Hager just fucking isn't anywhere to be found.
Yeah, because he's muscle. He wasn't there to have storylines. He was there to be a muscle for a heel faction, and they're all faces right now.
Hmm.
You don't need
And it's
muscle when you're faces.
And it's not like he's fucked off to do other things. Thanks to Sammy's vlog, I know Hager is still backstage most weeks. He just isn't having matches right now because there's no reason to build him as a big scary muscle man.
Yeah. Uh, Adam Cole cut a promo. It was an Adam Cole promo, really good, A+ as always.
Mhm. I hope the next match with him and OC is the last. I am excited. I love AEW Lights Out matches, but like that needs to be the end of it.
Yeah. Um, Sean Spears, CM Punk. How do you feel?
I was so fucking hyped. And literally, I was explaining a thing about because I watched most of this with my sister. So I'm sitting here, my sister's on my bed. I'm like explaining a thing about CM Punk to her, and then all of a sudden I hear the crowd going crazy, and I'm like, what the? Oh, they did that, did they?
I mean, they've been hyping up this is going to be a match. And then we've been going like, oh no, CM Punk been giving a lot of things to people. And then he just wins?
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Russell Talk described it best. It's a swerve.
It's a, and like, it's one of those swerves where it's like, I want to be mad, but I feel like I can't because that's brilliant.
Now imagine this goes off into a storyline with Sean Spears where he just gets even more unhinged and becomes a serial killer. Or wrestling serial killer. And he just goes like,
Let's go.
yeah. Billy Ass talks to Christian Cage about getting his boys a match.
Calling it right now. We're gonna get a double debut when this match happens. Road Dogg and Danhausen debut in the same match.
Hmm.
And then that'll set up an 8-man at Revolution.
I can see that. I can see that.
Yep.
Hopefully Danhausen's healed up by then.
Mm-hmm. I think he's almost completely healed up, he said recently.
Do we want to just skip over Cody Rhodes and keep going and then get back to it? Because it's a pretty big thing.
Yes. Yes.
So the first TBS challenge we're getting is Jade Cargill, Anna Jay. That's gonna be fun.
Mhm. I mean, it sucks that Anna's gonna lose because, like, I could really see her as TBS champion, but like, it'll be a solid first defense to establish the belt and Jade a little.
Yeah. The Kings of the Black Throne versus Varsity
Uh,
Blondes. How'd
Show
you
off.
enjoy the slasher movie? How'd you like? It was a slasher movie in the middle of a goddamn wrestling show. It was beautiful. It was gorgeous. Goddamn. Also, just real quick, I want to mention Cody's Brody line from earlier, really just put a shine on Brody King
Mm-hmm.
and just go, you made you pay attention to this man. It's just like, yeah, he's a fucking big ass behemoth. He's gonna do some shit.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Um, I find it hilarious that like everybody expected her to turn heel tonight, but no, Julia Hart is just dressing like an 80s manager now.
Here's what I bet's gonna happen. He's going to infect a bunch of people, and they're just gonna be sleeper cells. They're not gonna
Mm.
join the faction. They're just there to kind of fuck everyone else over.
Could be.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, this is great. It was fucking amazing.
Uh, the Pac angle after the match though, that was fucking awesome.
It was good. I wish he come back with the blindfold, cause that's just a fucking look.
Mm-hmm.
But like, dope. It's cool. Pac versus goddamn Malachi. Give it to me.
Yeah.
Um, Lance Archer. I have what is not necessarily a hot take. It's a mild take of why Dan Lambert is working with Lance Archer right now.
Why is that?
Because they need a good because they need a good manager for Lance Archer, and they want to have someone else there because they're worried about Jake the Snake's health.
Yeah, I can see that. Though I'll admit, I was so fucking jazzed to have Jake back tonight or
Yeah,
last night.
to me, Jake the Snake's going to be his manager. But if Jake the Snake feels like he can't make it out for a week, Dan Lambert's plan B.
Mm-hmm.
They can get Dan Lambert in easier, faster, and much more safer than Jake the Snake.
Uh, the Roppongi Vice promo was really good, I thought. I'm not super into Roppongi Vice, but they were put across really great. It was awesome seeing all that New Japan footage, and I think they're seeding Brandon defecting to the Best Friends.
Yeah, I can see Brandon being in chaos, especially in the best friends, which are all just a bunch of fucking goofballs.
Yeah, like I can see him straight up being like, "Fuck this," and going back to his D&D gimmick in the Best Friends.
Oh man, I can just imagine once that happens, seeing backstage promo, like a faction backstage promo, and they're all just like getting ready to do some D&D, and they all just go like, you know
Mhm.
what, we're working together, we're having fun, we want to win. Brandon, you've seen a lot of winners in your day. Do you got any strategies? I don't know. Roll for insight.
Nice. Uh, so I'm just gonna straight up say it. I thought Kazarian versus Archer was fucking boring.
It was a C match when it could have been an A or a B match.
Mm-hmm. Like, if they were gonna do this kind of slow destroy Frankie shit, I'm sorry, it should have just been a straight up squash. Like, get to that angle as fast as possible. Because that angle with Hangman was great,
Mm-hmm.
but like having to sit there for, I want to say, around 15 minutes just watching Frankie get tossed around, it was boring and kind of sad.
If you wanted to have a match where it's just tossing around a dude for several minutes, you know who it could have been? Lee Moriarty, Dante
Mhm.
Martin.
Though there was a small saving grace in, I loved Lance picking on the little girl in the crowd. That was great.
Yeah, that's some fucking carny ass high school gym wrestling shit. This is
Yeah,
perfect.
I've seen that. I saw that at the indie show I was at a little while
Mm-hmm.
ago.
The match wasn't bad. Here's the thing: it's not a bad match. Because a bad match just feels bad to watch. This is just kind of like, oh, it's a match.
Hmm. It's 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 not bad, but it's below our expectations of AEW, I
Yep.
think would be a fair way to say it.
Yeah. Um, it was nice to see Frankie though. I like seeing Frankie. Frankie's a fun dude to see.
Hmm. Frankie, they like I get that he's up there, so they're treating him more like a trainer or like a guy who does enhancement stuff on Dark, but
Hmm.
like Frankie still looks good enough, and he's still a good enough promo. I feel like they could give him a solid push for the TNT title.
Yeah. But speaking of TNT titles, we got some future challengers for it. Dante Martin, Lee Moriarty.
Yeah, it's a solid promo. I'm looking forward to more from those guys. And a match of them taking on Hobbs and Starks is definitely along that line.
Mm-hmm. Um, I definitely okay. We said this earlier. You were haven't been feeling this Chris Statlander uh feud going on with Layla Hirsch.
It's just something about the actual lines they're delivering and the kind of way they're delivering the lines.
Here's the
It
thing.
feels like WWE.
I will say this: it is stilted and a little wooden, but the storyline itself isn't bad. A person who's been working with others who feels like they are losing because of another competitor, taking their anger out on that competitor, is a viable storyline.
hmm No, it's classic wrestling. And like it's not a bad choice, it's just poor execution, which sucks all the more because Layla's one of my favorites, and I've been saying since she debuted, she should turn heel and join Team Taz.
Here's the thing: I think it's just mostly they've been working a lot on the physicality of all these women's wrestlers. Now we're getting to the point where we're getting all the promo work.
Yeah, Dustin and Cody need to tag out. Now
Yeah,
Cody's gonna have a weekly promo class.
it's just, it's promo, and some of these women are good at promo. Red Velvet, I will say, Red Velvet felt pretty natural.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Statlander, a little wooden, but she's an alien. She can be a little wooden.
Yeah.
Anna Jay earlier, okay, solid.
Yeah.
Um,
Like Anna's slightly wooden, but part of that is just her Georgia accent.
she's partly wooden. That's Georgia accent. It's also to me part of being the mom friend of the Dark Order.
Mm-hmm. Well, she's
But
the older sister.
yeah,
And
but Layla Hirsch, she needs work. She needs time on the mic, and
and again, I feel like I don't know. I should really look into her background. She was on Unrestricted a couple weeks ago. I should listen to that. But like, I want to know, like, is English her second language? Because I know she was born in Russia but adopted by an American family at a young age, and like with how stilted her promo delivery has been the last couple weeks, I almost wonder like, okay, how early of an age? Like how good is she at English in general? Like I want to hear her in a casual conversation. So I'm gonna listen to that episode of Unrestricted before the next podcast.
yeah, I and honestly, you know what they need? They need not just Cody coming in and going like, "Hey, here's some promo tips" and all that kind of stuff. Nyla Rose and Britt Baker need to be like the ones leading that
Mm.
promo charge because Nyla Rose has always been a bang ass
And
promo.
Thunder Rosa too.
Thunder,
Like
Nyla, and Britt, like those three, just need to like do a promo class and just go like, "Hey, here's the thing: we can't do everything. Like, there's expectations for us on promos that we can't meet all the things that guys do. We can do like this. Here's what we can do. Here's things we can do. Here's strengths that we have. All that kind of stuff. It's not bad. It's clunky. What we've been seeing, in my opinion.
what was good though was Sky Blue versus Serena Deeb. I liked that match quite a bit.
Hell yeah, let Deeb be the sociopathic fucking I'm the best wrestler. Let her be Brett the Hitman Hart.
hmm Uh, Though I will say, I feel like for once it wasn't just me. The cameraman, all the cameramen were focusing a little too much on Sky's rear end.
Mm.
Uh, like that gear just plus all the angles they were shooting her from was like, wow, guys, I guess you figured out that she has the same exact name as a porn star too, huh?
Um, Men of the Year always do a good promo.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting another hook match. They know where their money's being made right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Sammy just going like, "Hey, I'm gonna win the title because I'm Sammy Guevara."
Also, he's wearing the basically the same amount of clothing he does when he's wrestling, but goddamn, that bathing suit made him look scantily clad.
Mm. And then we have a major faction change up in AEW.
Yeah, on Andrade is now part owner of the HFO, which is now the AHFO.
A health. Health. Um, Currently as it stands, in storyline, Andrade owns 51%, but Matt and Private Party are majority shares on the board.
Mm-hmm. Uh, it really shows how wrestling has kind of ruined my mind when it comes to media. That I watched this and I was like, all right, that's cool. Has it? Is this gonna snake to Jeff somehow?
I mean, think about this. Private Party decide to align themselves with Andrade, kick Matt Hardy out of the group, and then Hardy needs someone to tag with to fight Private Party.
Hmm. Makes sense.
I find these. I found Andrade's promos funny in a charming way, not in a aha. These don't make sense. Like it is the absurdity of a businessman. It is.
Like, yeah, he's purposefully stilted because he's trying to sound like a billionaire that doesn't understand how normal people function.
Yeah, but that's the comedy. It's the absurdism of like, I want to buy the boy.
He is currently owned by Mr. Stink.
I want to buy boy. Can I buy boy? Thank you for boy.
Boy.
But that's funny to me, and not in a I'm laughing at Andrade. It's just more of like, oh, Andrade's in on the joke. To me, I believe Andrade knows totally what he's doing, what he's saying. It's like I am an oblivious rich guy. That's the gag.
Mm-hmm. It's almost like he was just working for an oblivious rich guy less than 6 months ago.
Oh my god, he does have kind of Vinceisms. Look at that boy. Look at that man. Look at that muscle.
Mm-hmm. Look at
Uh,
that little Twinkie, so marketable.
um, but that's about it for that little segment until we see what happens further. I do think
Mm-hmm.
Butcher and Blade with Andrade kind of makes sense because they're kind of like brutal, mercenary kind of looking people.
Yeah, that's basically been their gimmick since they've came in. I totally forgot until I was reminded by something a few days ago. They came in as hired goons for MJF.
Yeah, they're goons.
Hmm. You know
Um,
what they are? They're free weirdos who were trained by Taskmaster.
there are fucking weirdos. They're Taskmaster weirdos. God damn it, Taskmaster, get your boys and gal.
Taskmaster, come pick up your mans.
But then we have the main event acclaimed with going against Sting and Darby Allin. This is just a big fun match.
Oh, banger, absolute banger. Mm.
God damn, putting Sting on the back foot and making him the heat magnet, and then Darby comes in for the save. It's nice. It's
Yeah,
good.
but also letting his 60-year-old ass get some really cool spots in like a town that's historically important to him.
That
Mm.
that's the thing. They know how much Sting can go, and they don't push him further than he can. So, like this whole run has been great. He's been putting on really good matches that I wouldn't say necessarily go up against his classic stuff, but they aren't. It isn't the Disney directed DVD sequel.
Yeah.
These are matches are Toy Story 2.
Hmm.
I love
Not Toy
how.
Story 4 though. That movie doesn't exist.
Oh, what do people like that movie?
I refuse to watch it
Why?
because Free was a perfect ending, and you don't fuck with a perfect ending.
But no, it's fun. It was a good match. Darby wins. Coffin drop. Yay. So I think it's
Sting
time.
does a table spot, everybody rejoices.
Yeah. So we got to talk about the promo.
The promo.
Do you want to give a brief overview of the promo before we dive in? Because it's just a promo, but goddamn, it's a deep promo.
hmm Um, so Cody comes out to the ring, spends an inordinate amount of time getting a ladder from under the ring. Like I know because I was watching the fight feed. I'm almost certain it went through a commercial break, but like just goddamn, he took his time. Um, and then this saucy motherfucker just goes, "So what do you guys want to talk about?" Because we didn't talk about it because it's obviously resolved. But there was a few days where Cody didn't have a contract because he was probably meant to re-sign at one of the last couple shows, but the COVID scare happened.
Yep.
Um, and so people were freaking out like, "Oh my God, Cody's going to take the TNT title and go to other promotions." So that's totally a thing he'd do. Um, he then proceeds to deliver an all-time great Cody promo. Just basically outlining like, so why the fuck are you guys against me again? When you love this, you like this guy? Remember all the things this guy promised he was gonna do in the thing that kick-started the spirit of AEW and how he was never able to do those things? You know who did those things? Look at me. Look at me. I did those things. I did all those things and more. I'm fucking great. And everybody in this company is fucking great. Let me name off a bunch of people who are fucking great. I don't name any women for some weird reason, but a bunch of fucking people in this company are great.
I think it's
Uh,
partially just he's focusing on the men's division, people he can fight.
yeah. Including the guy I'm gonna fight next week, Sammy Guevara. You, me, ladder match, undisputed championship. Let's do it. It's great.
This was a really good promo. This wasn't a babyface promo. This wasn't a heel promo. Like
It
it's
was a perfect tweener promo. It wasn't a you people promo, but it also wasn't a us promo.
it was a genuine question and it was asking for a genuine response. It's just like what where's this disconnect happen? Where have we gone where have we got off the rails?
hmm
All this kind of stuff. But also like it's arrogant enough that you kind of can still boo him if you want to boo him, which I think Cody is okay with.
Yeah.
But like there's some good lines. The stuff about the Young Bucks was really good. My favorite though was the line about Brody King, saying Brody
Yeah.
King has balls to go by that name, and then he fucking threw shade at WWE because we don't rename people here like Gunther McGillicuddy.
hmm
Gunther, the recent one, McGillicuddy, the classic example of Curtis Axel.
Yeah. Also, he fucking said like be excited for Brody King versus Brody Lee Jr. in 8 years.
Oh, that no, that's what I'm saying. It's like he basically said you got to have balls to come into here named Brody, the home of Brody Lee, and you're going to regret that in 10 years when he comes and proves it to you.
Mm-hmm.
Already just saying like no, Brody Lee Jr. is just fucking.
Like y'all are hype on Hook right now. Just wait. Just
We
wait.
got 10 years to hype up this kid. Every year on his birthday, we're just gonna get a fucking hype package of him training in the goddamn garage with his dad's old equipment.
Yeah. Brody Lee Jr. coming soon to Dynamite.
Goddamn.
They should totally do that this year for his birthday, just to make fun of the fucking what is his name? Veer Mahan they've been teasing for
Yeah,
Raw.
yeah. No, but this promo was phenomenal, and I think it made so many people finally understand Cody's character. Cause like you've understood this about the guy, and I've like 99% understood this. Like I still thought he's playing a little bit of a tricky trick, but I don't think he's not tricking anybody.
Cody, here's the way I see it, especially after this promo. Because, like, this promo confirmed a lot of what I've been feeling. Cody's character right now isn't that he's a cocky heel reveling in his success, but it's also not that he's an underdog babyface. Cody's character is that he is a comfortable, self actualized man. He knows what he is, who he is, how good he is, and he doesn't feel like he has to prove it to anybody anymore, but he's still going to enjoy it.
He's a comfortable champ without being a champ.
Mm-hmm. Because I think, like, that's not just his character, that's him as a person. One of my favorite shoot quotes from Cody of all time is it's from Before the Bell, the documentary they aired right before Dynamite started airing. Um, he said, "My biggest fear all my life after I started being a wrestler was that my dad would die before he could see me win the world title. And then when that happened, it was like nothing mattered anymore." In other words, he's free, he can do whatever he wants and be self assured in the fact that there's no expectations to live up to other than his own.
Right. And sometimes we will get a little bit of a clunky storyline because he just wants to tell the storyline he wants to tell. But he's going to do it the way. He's the Frank Sinatra song. I'm going to do it my way.
Mm-hmm. Which, granted, that song has become the theme song for preening assholes the world over, but like, if living your life to the fullest extent you can live it makes you a preening asshole, I think a lot more people should try being preening assholes.
I mean, if the shoe fits, that's the kind of thing. He has
Like,
the chutzpah to back up these claims and statements and all that stuff, you know?
fucking wrestling loves comparing itself to legitimate sports. Michael Jackson, or not Michael Jackson, Michael
Jordan.
Jordan, excuse me, is one of the most successful athletes of all time. By every fucking report from people who were there when he was at his height, dude was a fucking asshole who put himself before everyone else on his team. Be like Mike, be a dick.
I mean, don't be that much of a dick. But nah, like, he isn't a delusional heel. He isn't a face who just happens to be booed. He is a man who has a distinct set of moral code that you can figure it out. It's a simple code of ethics
Do
that
the work,
that
earn
he
your spot.
that he will live by. And if you hate him, you hate him. If you like him, you like him. He is
There's a re
he's John
Go ahead.
Cena without the pretenses that he is a 100% good guy.
Mm-hmm. Like, Cody will do shitty things. He'll do some underhanded tactics from time to time. He'll be flawed, but AEW's never going to act like he's the second coming of Christ after he does that.
You know, he will do underhanded shit, but he's not a good guy because of it.
Mhm.
While people like John Cena would do underhanded shit, and everybody would go like, "Oh, John Cena's such a good man." It's like, no,
Mhm.
he has a very simple code of honor. He has a code of ethics. He lives by them, and it's very simple: hustle, loyalty, respect.
I mean, fuck. There's a reason Cody isn't just my favorite wrestler. He's one of my role models as a person.
But It's fascinating. Also, the ladder match with Sammy Guevara is going to be fucking amazing.
Yes, I'm so excited for that. Like, Beach Break, I make fun of it every year for being a show that happens like at one of the coldest times in the year. I just got done with a fucking snowstorm and it being themed around, oh, the beach and summer and fun. But like I'm legitimately hyped for most of the stuff on the card this year. Be There's no way that show can't be a bang.
Very much so. I don't think I have anything more to say. Do you?
I'm good.
So
I'm
why
good.
don't you start telling people where they can find you?
Hey everybody, I'm the Vacuuminator, a man who is far too obsessed with tokusatsu and toys. If you want to follow my escapades, go watch my YouTube videos. My content is available at youtube.com/c/the Vacuuminator. I'm also on Twitter, tweeting and twatting about everything that enters my head all day long at the Vacuuminator on Twitter, and I'm on Instagram posting photos of action figures and my dogs at _Vacuuminator.
Hell's bells. Hey, howdy, howdy. I'm Chris, a Boingo writer guest. I make a variety of content on the internet. You want to follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Boingo Writer. You want to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. It's at Boingo_Writer. And if you want to see any of the content I make video wise, you can go on YouTube and search Boingo Writer. You'll probably find anything and everything I have there. But this is Watching Me Do Wrestling Podcast. We talk about wrestling. We have other podcasts such as Components, where we have a variety of subjects that we talk about. We have No Prize Podcast, where we talk about comic books, movies, merchandise, and more. And we also have Twit. Why don't you tell the people about Twit?
Every week on Tuesday, myself and Buster Corp discuss the latest news and releases from the world of live action Japanese special effects, otherwise known as tokusatsu.
Hells, bells. But yeah, no, if you want to keep up with any of these podcasts and more, subscribe to Modular Media. Give us a like, give us a comment, do all the things. And in the meantime, do we have anything else we want to say about wrestling this week?
Let's do this together. A one, a two, a skiddly diddly do, adrenaline.